So pivoting to our next topic, running backs have, in my opinion, have become disrespected across the league.
Yeah, it's
I
bad,
mean,
bro.
if you
Bad.
look at people fighting for contracts and you hear some of these names, you're gonna be like, exactly who? Because Josh Jacobs still fighting for that extension. Saquon Barkley is on podcast saying he may sit out for the rest of the season. Are running backs being disrespected in your opinion, Cole?
I think they are
Oh, my
because
bad.
it's
Let
like
me rephrase that question. Are running backs as deplenishable and replaceable as people are making it seem?
um I think unfortunately I hate to say it, but like yeah, it's just kind of how do I say like economics? Like it's like supply and demand. The likelihood of you finding a running back in the fourth or fifth round that could be serviceable for you if you use 2 to 3 backs consistently is pretty likely. So you don't have to spend a whole lot on a running back. You don't even though like the Falcons and the Lions did do something different this year with drafting 2 running backs in the top 15 or well top 12, but basically they're looking at it as okay, draft in the first round, they have a 5th-year option, you can franchise them 2 times and then buy. So while they're in their prime, they're being used up, and by a front office standpoint, it's pretty smart. Why wouldn't you do that? I think the only solution truly is if they get shorter rookie deals. But it's like if you get shorter rookie deals, then it's like, what's to stop a wide receiver? What's to stop a cornerback? What's to stop all these other positions that, hey, like I'm gonna just get a 2-year deal real quick so then I can quickly get this back. But I don't know.
In
It's
my
just I don't
in
know,
my
bro.
opinion, Cole, there's a culprit to all of this madness that no one has brought up, and it's so crazy. The RPO itself has killed the running back position because it has made it to where you could put almost anybody, a receiver, anything tangible, and make the defense just think for a second. It's what the Kansas City Chiefs have done when they've switched out multiple running backs and just made them think that they're not important. But are all running backs replaceable? I think the answer to that is no. I think when you have someone as Saquon Barkley's stature, the Giants to me aren't or are under 500 team without Saquon Barkley. The Tennessee Titans have lottery picks in the draft without Derrick Henry. I think Christian McCaffrey's ability to play almost every position is the reason that the 49ers were so good towards the end of the season. When you have running backs that can kind of play the outside and also can play the inside, Alvin Kamara, he's been hurt a couple times, so he hasn't been as effective. But when Alvin Kamara is going, he's a threat in the pass. He's a threat in the run. You don't know what Alvin Kamara is going to do. And a lot of defensive coordinators have these guys circled in certain spots because they're so hard to stop. If you don't keep your eyes on Christian McCaffrey, he's going to beat you in different ways. There was a time, I'll get you after this. There was a time last season where Saquon Barkley lined up against Marshawn Lattimore and beat him off. And, but he beat him off. He beat him off the press. He beat him off the press. My bad. He beat him off the press, and on a go route, and he won. And like that matters in my opinion. But go ahead.
And the thing is, like everything you're saying, like I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that literally like the elites of the elites can just be replaced by just like a random third round running back that you draft and you're like, hey, like replace Saquon for me. I'm just saying, like, if you're the front office, are you gonna pay 15 mil over 4 years for a running back?
So you're not
That's like
so you're not gonna pay
later in their
you're not
prime.
gonna pay Josh Jacobs if you're the Raiders?
Me, I would, but if I have a franchise QB that I'm paying like 200 million for, I'm not paying a running back that much money. Like if I'm the Chiefs, I'm not paying. Like there's no need for me to pay
Well, yeah,
because
because I'm
we already
saying
seen what
the
happened
offense,
with
like I
Le'Veon
said, they're
Bell.
RPO central, so you don't necessarily need one. You don't necessarily need one because you're gonna throw the ball 100 times. But to me, that's not how football is won all the time. And I think when you run out of ways to win, that's when you lose some playoff games. You remember how
What
important
happened to the
you know
Super
how
Bowl? Yeah,
yeah. You
to the
think that's what
Chiefs.
happened in the Super Bowl?
To the Chiefs, yeah, because they're just. I mean, that Tampa Bay team was just
Are you talking about the Tampa Bay one?
bad.
I thought you were talking about the regular. Okay. Yeah, because I mean they ran out of ways to win. And then so when you have that problem and you realize how crucial some of these running backs have been in certain moments. You remember how big Joe Mixon was when the Cincinnati Bengals had their run to the Super Bowl? There were parts in the game where Joe Mixon was just taking over the game. It was just play after play after play. And I don't think you can just put anyone in those positions. And I know you didn't necessarily say that, but to say that they're just switch aroundable, especially when you have some of these big running backs like Derrick Henry. Like Derrick Henry, at one point, I think it was against the Ravens in the playoff game. He literally won the game. They would just hand off to Derrick Henry. It was HB dive every play, and no one could
Yeah.
stop it. Like some running backs, you're at the goal line, you know who's getting the ball, and there's no stopping it. It is what it is. It's a touchdown automatically, but that's not
So what do you
everybody.
think is the solution for them to get paid then? Do you think
I
if
don't
they
know. I
just
think
demand
it's the way
contracts
that
sooner?
football is changing. I feel like they should get paid, but the way of football is changing so much to where it's more pass centric. Everyone's looking for a dual threat quarterback who can run and pass. Everyone's looking for a different system. So I don't necessarily think there's a way to kind of stop it in a sense. I think it's just the way that football is trending. I don't like it. I still think you can win with a good running back, but I mean, I think this is the way of the trend right now.
Yeah, I mean it is unfortunate because you see all these other positions in the NFL. Like I literally saw a video and they were talking about how the franchise tag like the last 10 years like quarterbacks have went up like 10 mil, receivers that went up like so and so mil, and then the running back position is the only one that like decreased the past ten
Because I
years.
mean, to me, running backs, because everyone's kind of simplifying about what running backs do. They just run the ball, but I mean, that's their extra pass blocker. That's your extra receiver when the play breaks down. It's so much more than I'm handing the ball off and this dude's running. I think they've kind of, believe it or not, just take it away. Have kind of ran with it. But I think some guys are switchable, interchangeable, especially if you have two running backs. But I think the main guys who are what you I think of like Derrick Henry,
The
Nick
elite of the
Chubb,
elites.
Johnson. Yeah, like those guys. I don't think you just throwing them away because I mean,
Oh yeah, you
if that's
can't.
the
You
case
can't.
and
You can't.
Tennessee doesn't want to pay them, like what's stopping Derrick Henry from like, all right, if I want to play with Patrick Mahomes, but then the league gonna be unfair then. Ain't nobody gonna want to play because you have Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry on the same team in the
Yeah.
same backfield. So I don't like where it's necessarily going. So I don't necessarily know what'll fix it, but I kind of don't like the trend of saying
I mean,
that they're replaceable.
it's just because teams are focusing more so on the using 2 to 3 backs more so than the
Yeah,
workhorse. You got the few workhorses like the Derrick Henrys, like the Jonathan Taylors. I think those are the main two that really come into mind that are like, or I mean, Christian McCaffrey does, but like he also catches the ball, so it's not like he's like a bruising back. Like JT and even Nick Chubb. I mean, he kind of shared with Kareem Hunt, but now it's like his backfield now, so it's going to be him as a workhorse, Derrick Henry, JT, like those, and even Saquon to a certain extent. Like those guys are like the dudes that deserve to get paid, and even Josh Jacobs too. Like they all deserve to get their money, and I still think that like the situation with Le'Veon Bell really hurt the running back
that's
position
true. It did.
because the year right after that, James Conner makes a whole Pro Bowl, and he got drafted in the third round. So it's like teams are looking at that like this man held out for a whole year, accepted a contract less what he was offered in Pittsburgh, and just was a complete like bum. Like he just didn't. He just wasn't good in New York. So
Yeah,
that
but
whole
I just
situation
don't.
just didn't help.
Yeah, but I just think schematically you can still win if you're a dominant run football team. 'Cause that's what the Eagles were, in my opinion. I mean, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts could throw the ball down the field, but in reality, it was a lot of RPO action, and it was a lot of Jalen Hurts getting out, and it was a lot of Miles Sanders. That's
Yeah,
that's what won. That's what won them. They were just more physical than everybody else. The 40, you look at Kyle Shanahan's scheme, that's just meant for running backs. Literally the whole thing. It's all a twisted run. It's all misdirection. Even Sean McVay, when he went on his run, of course there was a lot of motion, but it was a lot of Todd Gurley as well, just switching around,
bruh.
playing that position
Yeah,
as well. So it's crazy.
yeah. Also, Todd Gurley getting that contract and then his knee, bro. Yeah,
That's true too. That's true too. That's true. So there's ways, but I think certain guys are kind of upper echelon. I'm not putting Derrick Henry with like what was it, Josh McKinnon for the Chiefs? I forget his first name.
oh, Jerry
But
McKinnon.
yeah, Jerry McKinnon for the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm not putting them in the same boat because he just does more. So
Yeah.
it's twisted. It's there. But yeah, guys, definitely tell us what you think on our topics. Definitely tell me who you guys think are winning some of these debates. Koa, do you have anything to say before we end off?
I say, yeah, just give us some feedback, and also like if y'all want some any other topics you guys want us to cover, definitely let us know. But looking forward to keeping this show going.
Yo, first one, we gotta put it down. All right, so Dirty South out.